David Morgan is with us right now, publisher of Morgan Report. We got to talk about silver. It is on fire. Is it going to keep going?
Absolutely, Tracy. Silver's been zooming up against every other asset class, including gold. The silver-gold ratio continues to improve, meaning that silver is outpacing gold in almost every other precious metal.
But is that because of the usages of it, or is it just because that ETFs and all that other stuff is pushing the price higher and higher?
Well, it is investment demand primarily. Silver breached the $20 level around August, September, and since that time, the spread has narrowed. And lots of people are catching on to the silver story. There's two aspects of the silver story: investment demand or monetary demand, and there is also industrial demand that continues to increase. So both those demands, industrial and investment demand, continue to build. Okay,
so you have the demand of this going up. Do you still recommend a buy on this?
You know, it's tough. I mean, I can't recommend silver at 10 anymore, as we're over 40 today. We're almost at 43. I think silver longer term will be much higher than it is today, but I also think, I know it's overbought. I mean, all the technicals show it is overbought. It continues to go up. It's almost acting as if there's a short squeeze situation going on. I do think that if you're going to get into the market now, you got to be very careful. I think you should actually average in over the next several months to prevent any large pullback upsetting your position. But I am still long-term bullish on the silver price.
We're close to 40. You're saying it could reach 50, 55. Do I get in? How do I get in it? Do I get in it through these ETFs?
Well, there's several ways to get in it. I've been a big advocate of buying the physical metal itself. You can do that through a coin dealer in your local hometown. You can do it over the internet. You can do it through ETFs. It's not my favorite way to invest, but if you're a large investor, it's quite easily to get into the silver market that way. You can also go in through another aspect, which is the mining companies. There's some top-tier companies, mid-tier companies, and of course very speculative juniors as well. That's some of the stuff we cover in the Morgan Report. But we also advocate, and have from the beginning, to buy physical silver.
That's actually something I wanted to talk to you about, is the other angles of it. Electronics, manufacturing, even solar, right? All these companies are using silver these days.
Absolutely. If you go back about 10 years, maybe about 12, the industrial demand on silver is about 35% of the market. Today, it's 54% of the market. The Silver Institute just came out with a report about 2 months ago, stating that by 2015, the industrial demand on silver will be 60% of the market, which is almost total mining supply on an annual basis. The silver supply is primarily base metal mining, primary silver mining, and recycled silver. About 680 million ounces is produced every year by mining activity. An additional almost 200 million ounces produced by recycling of silver, for a total of obviously 880 million ounces on an annual basis. We are really increasing demand on the industrial side primarily through solar energy applications. This requires 4-9 silver, 9999 fine silver, and that is in basically short supply because the demand for that grade of silver hasn't been demanded until recently. China keeps doubling the amount of solar panels they're putting out on an annual basis, and I think that'll continue for several more years.
So the demand for silver keeps going up, but does that mean then the products that use silver, the prices will go up as well? I mean, that eventually is going to be passed on to us, isn't it?
A little bit, but it's price inelastic for the most part. The amount of silver in a solar panel is actually very small relative to the overall price of the solar panel. So if silver prices double, it really doesn't add very much to the cost of the solar panel. Yeah, they might use the excuse to increase the price of the solar panel slightly, but it's such a minute amount of money relative to the overall cost, it really doesn't have that much effect. That's called price inelastic on the demand side, but you cannot make a solar panel without 4-9 fine silver. So it's an interesting situation in most electronic applications. It's not true of silverware, of course. It's not true of silver jewelry, but all electronic information type communication applications use very little silver per unit.